we starting without water? What am I doing? Am I doing this? Why would I start without water? Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. I don't think that makes any sense. I don't think that makes any sense. I don't think it makes any sense to start without water. So hello and welcome to the Chandu 16. Larry, hi. Oh, yeah. Oh, I so very much need some water. I think we do that. Some of that. Very important. Is the bridge water? Hello? Hi. Ow. Oh, I have some water. Some of the good water. Some of the good, nice, quality water. Eee. Too much. Eee. So many. Eee. We gotta put this. I'm gonna put this. Very important. Why am I so damn tired? It's not like I walk and then walk. I went for a walk today. I've thoroughly exhausted myself. Hello, and welcome to the Nympheus and the shy assassin of the VT. I am very E. I am become so much E. Very E. Hello and welcome to the Sleepy Shield Coder. A sleepy recovery. Actually, not too bad, I think. Maybe. Oh, we need the other. We need the other chibi. This one. I need this one. I had something of... I don't know. I stayed up kind of late yesterday. Because I had to. And then I slept, and then I was awake, and then sort of took it easy for the day, and then I took another sleep nap. So I slept a lot yesterday, and now we are here. Kinda. I just got back from a walk. I'm all kinds of exhausted because of it. Somewhat eek. Somewhat eek. It's the Huta. Shu H. Always trying to redeem the Meisaka. Hydration. Protocol. Oh, very highly valuable. Although in this case, we probably need it. Probably sorta kinda need it. Yeah. yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Interesting pattern. Interesting pattern. Maybe a little bit. As you may or may not have noticed, I fixed the memory slightly. The memory sync protocol. I don't know, was not content to let the memory fly around, be broken. So I was like, okay, we're gonna fix this. Hello and welcome to the Iron Maiden 20. So what was it? I think it was either yesterday or the day before. Sat down and I tried to fix the what's it called? Memory sync protocol. I think it works. I think I have it working properly. Gamma corrected. I don't know. Maybe. Can't speak much to that. I don't remember which format I picked for the textures data. So much yawn. Also, I don't know if you remember this, but my little spaceship triangle at the end of the last stream, I started freaking out and zooming across everywhere. I was like, what is this all about? Turned out it was a separate bug. I don't know exactly how I missed that, but yeah, one of the transform elements was like a cosine instead of a sine. So in a certain orientation, it would like build up speed instead of reduce speed. And I didn't have any sort of speed limiter on it. So it was going like, I don't know, thousands and thousands of units per second. And it was like hundreds of millions of screen pixels out of alignment or whatever. Because it exceeded the clamp limit. So I did two things. One, I set an upper limit on maximum triangle speed. So now you can't go too fast. And we fixed the weird transform bug. We fixed the weird, like, shared memory bug, I think. I'm like 90% sure about that. Like, I wrote myself some tests for it, and it seemed like it worked. It seemed to be holding. And then I deleted my tests because I'm like, these are not very well written, and they're kind of just baked into the operation of everything, and that's not a good idea at all. So, yeah, that was kind of what I did. What was it? Was it yesterday? It was sort of yesterday. Sort of yesterday. I don't know if it was like a test. It wasn't like an actual, like, test case type system. What I did was that I hacked the encoder in such a way where it would keep 2 copies of the memory. And then after it encoded all the memory values, it would then run all the decoded memory values, all the memory values that it encoded through a decoder that, like, has the like overlay algorithm. And then it would self-test the decoded memory against, like, the original actual memory. And then if there were any differences, it would, like, throw up an unassert function and then just, like, halt the program. So I think I ran that once or twice and then had some implementation issues to work out. And then I fixed those, and I'm like, this is using, like, unsafe and, like, pointers and, like, uninitialized something or other, and it was kind of eek. So then I refactored it to be not unsafe, and then I'm like, sort of So that's sort of like what story time with Meisaka is about. A little bit. Little bit. A little bit. Also, changed my cursor style. I've been using, like, the orange cursor for a while. Decided to turn it this, like, bright bluish color. Bright bluish color. Make it a little more blinky. A little bit more blinky. Something else I tried the other day was Kitty. Tried messing around with Kitty, which is the other terminal that I have installed that I don't typically tend to use as much. And there's a reason why we don't use it as much. Well, there's a couple of reasons, but, like, there's, like, this kind of sort of, what's it called? It's like this fancy cursor effect in Kitty. The one thing I don't like about it, though, is that it stops blinking. The only reason why we don't use Kitty is because the cursor stops blinking and there's no configuration for it. I pay good money to configure my weird blinky effect. And it doesn't even work. Unless I'm outside in like a console. Why is there no setting for this? Why is this a behavior? Who thought that was a good idea? Also, like this interpolated cursor blinking effect that we have here. Alacrity doesn't support that. It just has simple blink. Mimic? I don't think you can. I don't think you can mimic the cursor. Like, the cursor is very much a terminal feature. Also, hello and welcome to the R1L37, the smear cursor. I don't know if I want to try that on the NeoVim level. Cause like, it's... I don't know. The smear cursor is kind of like, it's sort of like a gimmick. The thing that I care about more is what's it called? The blink. I'm more of someone who cares about the blink. Also, it's not something that I use exclusively in the Vim. Like, sometimes, if I want any sort of effect, I want it to work everywhere. Everywhere. Also, since I'm on the discussion of terminals, where's that kitty? If we have, I don't know, some program. Very E. This is truly pretty E. Alvatore supporting me for basically the entirety of like my affiliate status interval. 58 months. Weird dramatic. We live in a dramatic universe. A very dramatic universe. And my titles are sort of indirectly inspired by that. I did something amazing. Literally had donuts yesterday. So I put donuts in my title. Outside. I was talking about the walk at the beginning of the stream. So for anyone who joined me early, I was discussing my walk a little bit. it's definitely, it was definitely a walk. Whoosh. I kind of like the whoosh. Whoosh. A torque wrench. I have a really cheap torque wrench. You want a really cheap torque wrench? I don't know about. I don't know. Actually, I don't know if it's cheap, but it's kind of meh. Like term and variable. Click type? It's not a click type. It's a giant bar with like a lever. Oh, what's it called? It's got like a rocker handle, and it's got like a really super long needle. So it's like lever gauge type. Very minimalistic for a torque wrench. I think I would much rather have the clicky type. Alas, I have no such thing. But also, I don't typically need to torque things, so I haven't worried about it too much. So what, eek? Torque enough on the stream? Let's open the same file in like both terminals here. The microwave curry. 1,600 yen. Quite a bargain, they would say. Just kidding. It's not a bargain. What line is this? 631. So here's about here. Well, these look a little different because we're not like. Not in the T-Mux. Blinky? If we set the terminal, does the blinky... I don't know. I would think that the... I think that my term is set right. Oh wait, that's the Alacrity terminal. We want to go into the Kitty terminal. Yeah. I'm not even in the correct window. They look similar, but they're different. Here we got line 22. What is term in here? Just X term kitty. X term kitty. And them. There's no blinky. There's no blinky. Ain't no blinky. This one has like slightly taller characters, which I think is configuration thing that I was messing with. Because I was messing with some of the configuration for it. Thing is, though, we're not running the Tmux, so I don't have to worry about that. Like, we're running it directly. The gremlins. The gremlins. Whenever you change the cursor shape, it does it. Yeah. And there's like literally nothing in cursor customization for it. Let's see, I think we want to go into font. I think I made the font cells bigger somehow. I don't know if I can get them to match or not. Terminal kitty. It's just be kitty, being kitty. Let's use this font for my italics. They look similar enough. I'll use 660, I think. Where would I have to land? Line 22. Out here. How about there? Maybe. Six, 3, 7. Maybe it's 6, 3, 8. Yeah, it's 6, 3, 8. So now we have an AB kind of thing. You can see what they both look like in the different flavors. Same font, same location. I guess if I really wanted to compare them, I could like put Tmux in both places. That'd be kind of funny. Well, it literally is the same. Hello and welcome to the Trade Splatter, Keeper of the Wingdings. The all-important Wingdings. I mean, this is sort of just the winger of the dings. This is just sort of a bit of a silly tangent, I guess. I don't know. Also, this is the same font, the same size of font, the same settings of font. As best as I can get it. And in Kitty, the characters of the font are ever so slightly, they're ever so slightly thicker. I don't know why. I find this a little bit curious. Why are the letters slightly thicker? It's a mystery. Oh no. The Chibi Saka is here. To be like E. Hello and welcome to the Jade Sun. I am in fact very maximum chibi mode today. Because I'm a little bit worn out. Speaking of Kitty, we need this song. Clearly. Anyways, let's see. So, yeah, I wanted to do more with the gizmo, the VM, the Wave 2. Something else that I was doing the other day was I was tidying up the what's it called? The control area. So I have this module called the VM control area. And it completely changed how this works. Well, maybe not completely, but drastically. Like, the module configuration stuff is still in the same place. Status is still in the same place. Fred user ID is still in the same place. But almost everything else got rearranged in here. And part of my thinking was like, we have, for example, the flight control module. At the beginning of the flight control module, we have this like status word, and then we have like this module ID word. It's also the same for radar and scanning and nav. And I'm like, the control module is like the only one that's not like this. So, to make it similar to the other control modules, we still have the status word at the beginning. Because I wanted it to be like that. But instead of like the module ident, we had, what did we have? I don't remember what I had here. Something weird there. We had TER0, the exception register. Which is, I thought was kind of a weird place for that. So instead of having that there, I put the thread ID. So now the threads are identified by the thread ID. And then the thread ID is basically a module, which means that you can match, or you can map the module control for the threads into the other like mappable slots. Because I was thinking like this isn't very extendable. Like what if I want more than one thread? What if I want 2 threads? What if I want 3 threads for some reason? The way I had it before, there were 2 threads and they were kind of like weaved together in this weird sort of pattern. And I was just, I don't know. It didn't sit right with me. I didn't feel like trying to implement it that way. So now, if we treat the thread ID like a module ID, thread ID 1 is going to be like the main thread. Thread ID 2 is going to be like the ship control extra thread thing. And then if for some reason I decide to add more threads in the future, we can do that. It's doable. It's not hard. I don't know why I call it a thread ID. It's more like a core ID. I don't know. Thoughts, semantics, something like this. Also, I came up with like an actual definition for how thread start is gonna work because I was like, wait, I don't actually specify this. Be like, how are you supposed to start the other thread running? You don't? You just sort of don't? So I came up with an actual way of doing it. I also described the exceptions feature because I noticed that there was like a single line explanation of how it might have worked. And the way it was described, I didn't like. So the not yet implemented exceptions got like completely rewritten. It's kind of big document. I mean, believe it or not, though, I actually sort of like writing these silly design documents like this. It helps me plan stuff out. I don't do it very often. But given like the level of complexity behind this project, I think it's an important feature. Everyone likes a good plan. There's still a couple of like issues though. I think the biggest issue that I still kind of have is the whole constant register storage thing. Yeah, it's such a weird feature. It's such a weird feature. Note it down. Just add it to the to-do. The ever-growing to-do list. I have a bunch of to-do list files strewn about in every little project. Virtual rum. Well, I mean, the constant registers, they're not really ROM. The way they're designed, the way they're architected, is kind of like, it mimics, I guess you would call them like shader uniforms. If you ever did like graphics programming, there's these things called shader uniforms. Which from the perspective of like the shader program, they're constant. But outside of the shader, from like the control program, you can adjust them per invocation. And the constant registers were sort of modeled after this. Hello and welcome to the Panda from Tekken 8 and the Khan 59. Hello. Much thank you for the lurks. Something else that I was thinking of that I have been really severely debating is whether or not to make the constant registers not so much constants, but like a semi-constant. I don't know how to describe it without actually describing it in detail. Very detailed, very detailed, and have I ever played the Skyrim? No? No, I have not. I have Skyrim on like Steam. I don't think I've ever touched it. It's like the good one. The one that you can mod to Oblivion and back. Or some such. Oh my. I've watched plenty. Pun? Kind of very well intended. What else have I been up to? These are the control registers. I listed the IDs from them. I finally fixed this stupid example-ish memory program, and I came up with a compression encoding for it. Because I figure if I'm going to have examples, I might as well make sure they're good. I described all of the alternate character sets, not just the runes. As well as added a description that yes, you can in fact mix them, it does not care. I finally fixed this stupid line describing preloadable memory instead of just shared memory. I added a description about the space before the exclamation point being ignored. This line here describes the alternate symbols. Finally, division. This was the stuff from the last stream. I don't really think I changed that at all. In my instruction set listing, I added the major opcode number before each segment. Because I'm like, I use this as a quick reference and I keep forgetting these. So now if we do that, those are in here. Sort of useful, kind of. This had some sort of grammatical thing. Wasn't too happy with. A lot of this was just some description stuff that I wasn't too happy with the wording of. Much better. The end of preloadable memory, I moved that from the end of private memory to the end of the banked private memory. This isn't too much of a change because banked private memory is not yet implemented. With the samurai voice. What is the samurai voice? Again, preloadable memory. I fixed up some of the descriptions of the registers. In here I had a description of how exceptions worked with the program counter. Where the Y element would save the program counter on exceptions, and I was like, I don't want it to work that way. So that got changed. So I removed the bit about that. So now the instruction register is just, I don't know, it behaves how it behaves right now. No need to mess with it. Added more description about the VM. I added the overview a little bit earlier in the list here. Better description of how the words are stuff. I don't know, we just cleaned up the documentation a bit. Lots of fixes and clarifications. Nothing too major though. the most major thing is probably the VM control area, and most of this was not yet implemented at all. Anyways, the way I think it's actually going to work is we're going to have one of these as a mappable module for like each thread. By default, the thread local one is going to be mapped at this fixed location. And then if you want to control like the other thread, like you want to start the other thread, you would map this register bank into one of your IO slots, and then you'd fill in the different parameters, and then you'd set it going. Using like the thread start routine. So to start up thread, is it intended that PC reads the next instruction address? Yeah, that's very much intended. That is the reason why the inline load works the way it does. That is why if you swizzle from PC, you can create loop points that don't include the swizzle itself. This is also one of the way that like the skip functions work. Am I okay today? I'm a little bit worn out because I took quite a bit of a walk, like I mentioned. Did I say hello? I don't think I said hello to the Christopher 1955. So yeah, if you swizzle pre-loop, like this lets you jump backwards without having to like, I don't know, re-swizzle the address or some such. So one of the ways that that can work is that you could stick a target address into like RI in like either the YZ woo register region, and then do like a swizzle to exchange it with the program counter. And then you can use this kind of like a jump link type thing. So that would just be kind of like a call and return type flavor. Because then you could do the opposite swizzle at the end of whatever function you called and get back to where you came from without like recalling yourself or having to mess with the program counter. It already points to the correct location. So that's sort of like one of the reasons the way it works. I think the biggest thing though is probably like the inline loads. Which, believe it or not, I did not originally plan on having. I just sort of stumbled upon them. It's almost like I made up the architecture by following, like, patterns that I've seen in other processors, and, like, I've just been discovering more and more things about it. So it's not so much designing the architecture as it is exploring the architecture. Because, like, when I first wrote all the conditional functions, it was like, how are these useful? And then I'm like, oh, wait a minute. If you subtract them from the program counter, you can skip instructions. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's kind of surprising in a way. Sometimes the architecture surprises me. So, I came up with this new thread start routine, and I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want to implement this first, or if I want to try implementing, I don't know, just the array of the control registers. This has sort of been the tricky part. Oh, the tricky part. I think I am kind of happy with this design, though. Like, this area here, there's like the bank control word repeated like twice. This is, I set this up this way because I have a plan for it in the future. These two words are going to be used for something special later on. Something special. Very special. Why am I so exhausted feeling at the E? What the E? This is what happens when I take walks. Anyways, let's open VM. And I think we're gonna like commit some of this stuff before I continue. Because there's kind of a lot in here. Wish I was special, but I'm a freak. I'm a weirdo. It's a good song. Kinda. From a musical standpoint. Let's see, do I want to add this like read mem nonsense? I might have to. We got Divine. Got rid of some of these clones. I added more pseudo-ops. Deep dish 3-meat pizza at the Caesar. I mean, considering how absolutely absurdly rarely I have touched like fast food, I'm gonna go with no. Don't think I have. I thought we went over this. I don't eat much fast food. Well, not this thing specifically, but like... I remember a discussion about pizza from various places. We added a clamp on velocity. Now you can only go up to 1024 pixels per tick. Oh, so this is my lovely print statement here. I'm going to delete. I can append stuff. Subway? Why are we talking about Subway? I don't like Subway. And I don't think I would ever eat there. Tis the comrade's soul. Hello, hello. And again, welcome. Also, I made a bunch of the modules public. Because they weren't. Alright, what we got in here? And some constants. Bacon mushroom pizza with salmon. With salmon. Salmon is not... I don't think that would be a good pizza topping. I'm not a fan of salmon on pizza because, well, it might be okay on its own. I don't think it works with pizza. Oh yeah, this was another bug that we fixed. Oh yeah, I can't believe I missed that one. Not that anyone uses the front end except me. KFC in Japan? I mean, considering that I've never been to Japan, I don't think I could say that I've ever had the KFC in Japan. The JFC in Japan is what I want to say. Why am I like this? I mean, forget going to another country. I don't think I've even. I don't think I ever barely ever wander outside of like my state. I don't get to travel. As much as I would love to like go different places. I don't really have the means of travel. Flight risk? I don't think I would be considered a flight risk. Like I don't have any documentation for that. You need certain documents for it. You have to have like either a passport or like a special ID card. Canada isn't a different continent. Canada is attached to... That's part of North America. I live in the North America. Europe would be a different continent for me. So did I get all the things? I think we got all the things. I think we got all the things. It's sort of been on my to-do list to like get a passport and looking to travel. I might have to travel at some point. What with the way the world is turning and burning and learning. Or not learning. The world never learns. Why does the world never learn? What universe are we living in? Why is it the darkest timeline? I don't live on a coast. I live in the landlocked, juicy center. Where we have corn, soybeans, corn, highways, more corn, we definitely got some of that corn. We got wind farms. Those exist. We don't just have corn farms. We got wind farms and solar farms. It's just turbines everywhere. Land of the maple syrup? Home of the geese? And then randomly in the middle of it all, there's a city with a supercomputing facility. Some of these states are really weird, you know? If you go up far enough north, there's like a particle accelerator or something. Tariff. Add the tariffs. Everybody needs to get the tariffs. Nobody's allowed to take anything out. We're all doomed, I tell you. Doomed. 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 What do we add here? Some VM fixes. And division. Division and a pseudo ops. And then we got the VCA docs. So there's all that clippy stuff. Meh. Gotta throw meh in there, that's important. Very, very highly important. It's the Contem 3. Very E. Hello, hello. Let's see, where was my thing? There was like an Easter egg in this project. I think it was in opcode. On line 134. There's a message to the future, Mesaka. Get out while you still can. There's no escape otherwise. Later, Mesaka. Oh, that's what you meant. Wish you had made it more obvious. The E. Is there an E? Is there a bunch of E in this project? I think that's Key Engine. I think Key Engine has the E. Is that in the meh window? Where's that E? A bunch of E. We have some re. Some re in there. What about lowercase e? Nope, none of that. We don't got any of that. Would you believe I'm like still out of breath from that walk? I'm like, what the E? I'm like a whole hour. And yeah, if it's not obvious, I think I was talking about. I think I was warning myself about the country, sort of. Toggle something. No, H E. 2 months ago. Great space migration. Typography. Hmm. Hmm. Not the fingies. Not the fingies. Anything but the fingies. I need those. I don't know. My fingers are not really doing great either necessarily. Like, this keyboard is probably like not very healthy for me. It's a linear brick. I'd prefer something with more tilt. I think I might have to get myself something with more tilt. Like a pinball machine. But with like a million keys. And the pinball flippers are not connected together. Or they're not connected to the machine. Clearly. So in other words, nothing like a pinball machine. Well, yeah, we might have to... Well, I mean, the keyboard is technically a mechanical keyboard. But no, we're talking something split. Some sort of split ergonomic keyboard is probably the thing that I probably want. Cause I need, I don't know. I need something at an angle, something that doesn't torture my pinky every time I need to mash the control key, which I do with some extreme regularity. Very eek. Yeah. There's just so much stuff I have to do sometimes. Some days I'm like, am I ever gonna get through any of this? How do I even manage to survive? The moon lander? Are we landing on the moon? Poof. Dreaded Emacs Pinky. Turns out, it's also a thing in the Vim. It's not exclusive to Emacs. Vim people just don't tell you about it, because some of them use better keyboards, probably. I press the control key with my palm on my like game play keypad thing. It's a joke. It's look. Emacs and Vim are basically the same thing. Maybe this is a little bit of a controversial, or what they call the hot take, but they're kind of similar things. I would probably argue that, like, Emacs is a more, I guess, sophisticated editor, because you can, because it's built around the notion of being like variable width, and like GUI first, whereas Vim is designed around like a good terminal first experience. But they're both highly configurable, terminal capable editors that have lots of key combination editors. And if you want like the Vim motions, like pretty much every editor has like Vim key mode. You can use Vim editing modes in Emacs. I mean, hell, if you're in insert mode in Vim, a bunch of the keybinds are basically Emacs-like. They're the same thing, almost. E. A 3D printed keyboard. I don't know, I thought about keyboard. I thought about trying to 3D print keyboard. Also, hello and welcome to the Happy Nora and the Control O. And the Opium Flood. Welcome, welcome. I have a resin not keyboard, a resin printer. Like a photopolymer resin printer. So like if the components aren't too big, I could fit them on the printer, maybe. Possibly. Potentially. Although I've been considering just buying like one of those fused deposition filament printers, because I kind of sort of want to print stuff that's a bit bigger than what the resin printer can spit out. It's also better for like bulk prints. Bigger prints work better on resin no, not resin. On the filament printers, I meant to say. Like, resin printers are good for small, highly detailed items, and then the resin ones, they usually have like a very limited volume. Like the FDM ones, those you can usually fit a bigger print on most FDM things. Resin keycaps, that's sort of a, I don't know, that's a bit of a debatable topic. Keycaps take a lot of abuse. So yeah, you need a really resilient resin. Really, really resilient resin. Normally I sleep during what would be local time day, local daytime. So I think I sleep like 7 or 8 hours most of the time. It's pretty typical. Sometimes I get a little bit exhausted, then like I might sleep more. Sometimes I might get a little restless, end up sleeping less. Sometimes the eternal divine fox shows up and I'm like, hi there. Hello. Welcome. Yesterday though, I was like, do I want to stream at some weird hour? Or do I just want to sleep extra? And I decided I would just sleep extra. Put myself on track again. So I spent yesterday sleeping, watching some videos, sleeping again. So I might be a little bit more on track. A little bit more on track, a little bit more stable, a little bit more capable of welcoming myriad minds to the stream. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. I just gotta weave my introductions into the middle of the speech. This is how it goes. How it goes sometimes. We just got everybody showing up here. I'm doing kinda okay, as I may have said. I guess to anyone showing up, I'm gonna... I'll mention that I took my walk earlier, like before the stream, because I was like, I need a walk. I need some outside time. I need my exercise. And now I'm very exhausted and I just sort of want to sit. There's no mountain climbing. I live in like the flattest bit of city you've probably ever seen. I live on the plains. There's not a mountain in sight for as far as you can see. And you can see pretty far. I'm a flatlander. We live in the flatlands. We live in the plains. We're part of the plains folk. Audio festival. I've never seen no audio festivals. Got some flatland mention. You know, once upon a time, back when I read books, I was reading Flatland. It's a fun book about dimensions. Why not read? I don't read quite so much anymore. Nowadays, I catch myself, the only thing we're really reading much of is like documentation on the internet. And in my opinion, that's just not anywhere nearly the same. It's not like reading books. It's very different. We gotta investigate the virtual machine. We could do that because, like, oh yeah, that's actually something I wanted to take care of today. I wanted to work on, like, the virtual machine dump protocol a little bit. And send a bunch of this stuff up to the overlay. So that you can visualize it. Ooh, this is pretty impressive. That's pretty scenic. Got some of them hilly mountains. Very extreme. It could be a Windows screensaver. This could be a desktop picture. Possibly. Get some of that blue. It's gonna get some of that maximum lurk. Cleaning the kitchen is important. The household I live in is kind of like, I don't know, it's something or other. Red channel shifted. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the reds being shifted over too much. The Chicago style pizza. I would say probably. I don't know if I remember what it. I don't know if I'd remember it offhand, though. But I probably had some. Get some of that mobile phone. Some of that wireless boombox. Boom, 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 something like this. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going for a very good rhythm here. No, not clearly not. The commands. The commands. The great commands. Oh, there's snow up there. Very, very mountainous. It's like little valley. Very nice little valley. What's some of that Valley Road? The Vode? Those words don't go together? Yeah and a half. The Velode? The Valley Toad? The Valley Road? It's the fjord. Yeah. We visit the fjord. We enjoy the scenic nature. We do some fishing in the fjords of the mountains. The commands. The commands. If you're looking for the, like, VM commands, those are on a different page. You know, I almost feel like I should just make multiple pages. I feel like we need some different pages for different things. Get some of that color. Get some of that ident. Where it at? Where is it at? I know this feature works. Behind the ad banner. Oh, yeah, it is kind of behind the ad banner. We got like the 4 brackets thing. I think. I don't know. I might change it back to like the square bracket thing. That's something else I wanted to deal with, actually. The other day when I was like fixing the like weirdness with my triangle, I was thinking to myself, wouldn't it be kind of funny if I could just like click on them and drag them around and like fling them all over the place. Like if a triangle gets stuck somewhere or if it like drifts in some place and I'm like, no, that I need to move that. So I kind of want to like try to build this sort of feature where I can move them because like my triangle, I know it kind of ended up moving in some weird way because like one of the axes broke and now it's on a different trajectory and it's like off the edge of the screen and I'm like, that's not gonna do it. Hello and welcome to the Team Adis. Welcome, welcome. So I think today we're gonna do... I think the focus is gonna be front end some more. An hour and almost 48 minutes in and I'm just now deciding what it is that I'm actually gonna do. Yep, we're making great progress. Uh-huh. Clearly. I mean, dragging them, I think we're gonna... Yeah, I think we're just gonna work on like the visual front end because like ident still doesn't display the username. The like the VM dump protocol is still terminal only, and I want that to be displayed on the stream. Somewhere. And the dragging of the what's it called? Dragging the triangles around is kind of... What else? It sounds kind of interesting. Also, I was thinking this to myself, and I'm like, this is dot? Dot function? You don't need the dot function. So we're just adding them together. We could just take the max of alpha x and alpha y. And I'm like, that's fine. And then I won't need to like clamp it in there because reasons. And then I think I want to like get rid of... I think inner.y. somewhere in here I have Mesaka idents. Problem. The Mesaka triangle is off the edge of the screen. I can't even see it. Oof. Too much oof. So I want to take the, what is it, this canvas, and I want to attach some event listeners to it. Either that or the document. I'm not sure which. Or is it the window? I don't remember. It kind of covers the whole window, though. Kind of sort of covers the whole window. Is it pointer? Enter? Pointer leave? Focus? No, it's not focus. Focus. I was probably pointer in. Or was it over? I don't know. I think we need leave and move. And then, and then, and then, and then, and then. Oh, I don't know. We'll just find this. Clean up the mess. I mean, if we want to clean up the mess, then, like, I have a program that I run that clears the memory. I think that's what I had running last time. I also have, like, a service level command that clears, like, the memory area. See, what else do we have? We have down. I think. Pointer. Pointer down. Pointer up. Pointer leave. Very important. Wait, are you a mouse event or are you a pointer event? You're a pointer event. It's certainly a pattern. As you may or may not notice, it fills really fast. Nyum. Kinda nyum. So how are we gonna make this work? I think we're gonna take all of the ships. And we'll have, I guess, more state variables. We're gonna shovel more state variables in here. Probably. Divide or normalize? We implemented 2 of the 16-bit divide functions. I don't know if I restarted the VM with them or not. I think we did though. So I think they might actually be live. And I don't know if I pushed them or not. Let's just push all that stuff up. So that the... Oops. So the documentation for it is up to date. In case you want to read the exact details of how it's supposed to work. Wink, wink, something, something. Like, I'm pretty sure it's live. It's just I didn't push the documentation listing for it. Because when it comes to Stream Gizmo, we kind of sorta, you know, we test in production. Ow. Ow. Best kind of test environments. I don't even keep, like, proper... I don't even, like, take snapshots or anything. I just have, like, my saved persistent value. So, like, if I break everything, then like, all the triangles might end up in the wrong place or something. And sort of like my only option is to like optionally not save it or some such. Where was I? I was in the TypeScript thing. Yeah, I was doing pointer events. We want to move the cursor, I guess. I don't know if I want like client X or it was client. Well, I guess I'll find out. Guess we will find out. We have the cursor leave. We'll just set this to the silly -1 values. And then in here during updates. We have very somewhat say we make an index. Nearest ship, nearest distance. Nearest distance, we need to make this sort of like a sort of big number. But not like too big. This is basically the effective range of the cursor. Maybe we'll make it 200. I guess if you're greater than minus, let's make it 204. Just a nice comfy 192. Maybe a nice cozy 204. Maybe a delicious 203 just to be fun. I don't. It's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of nonsense either way. So we gotta calculate the distance. The distance. So we have offset. The meme of an offset. You're like the, what's it called? The x coordinate. Then u plus 1, you are like the y coordinate. I'm gonna take these and I'm gonna multiply them. And we want to, I guess we will, I think subtract, I guess the cursor difference, distance. Subtract is the difference. Just do like one of the classic distance formula. And then if the distance is less than the ship, what is it, nearest distance? The nearest distance is this value. The nearest ship is I don't know. I guess we could call it offset. It's kind of silly to put the offset, but that would work. I think we actually want like the ship number though, so we need maybe the number of triangles. That is effectively our ship index. And then I would say if it's ident case 6, do the thing. I kind of want like 5 and 6 to like go together. I have to do the same thing twice. You know, sometimes it bothers me that the offsets are in hexadecimal. I'm like, how am I supposed to get anywhere? How am I supposed to figure out how far to actually go? The answer is, I don't. It doesn't happen. And then we could sort of maybe stick. I don't know, we could stick this in here. Potentially. Maybe not this one. I don't know. We don't want the offset until the very end. But like, we have to skip over the elements from I, probably right here. Such a mess. And that can go in there. Also, you know, I didn't say hello, and welcome to the Ray March. I don't know. We're locked in a bit, almost. Let's keep track of, I guess, the ident status. Of the current ship. So at the end of the while copy loop, I can check the, what is it, nearest ship? This is greater. We can set ident offset to near ship times 4. Offset can be near ship times no wait. That gets moved, so we don't want that. We want the offset. What is it? Shared size plus the ship number. Beginning of the ship region. Honestly, I have no idea why I don't just... Why I did it that way. Why did I do it that way? And then I want to keep it so that we have... what's it called? A timeout value. Yeah. Yeah, we're just gonna have like this counter that goes down. And then like any mouse activity here. we'll, I don't know, we'll set this to some sort of value. Wait, this is a method. The F sharp. I have not ever used the F sharp. I think we need an on-click thing, maybe, probably. So I'm gonna get rid of that one. That's a weird name for it. We also want to get rid of double click. And what is it? Context menu? No context menu for you. No right clicky the screeny. How dare? How dare I do such silliness? How dare we make thing that's this sort of vaguely comprehensive? Just some nonsense and a half right there. Alright, can I, like, interact with you? Does this... I don't know if it responds to movement, pointer events, mouse events. Yeah, the overlay, the OBS sources. There's I don't know if it supports pointer or if it only supports mouse. Because the thing is kind of, I don't know about if you know this or not, but they're kind of sort of, they're kind of ancient. I have like an ancient version of OBS. I think we've mentioned this on like several different occasions. I cannot tell. I might have to mess with the page. I might have to add some text to the page. I don't usually mess with the, like, the HTML side of it, because there's like barely anything to it. It's literally just a canvas that we slap in here. The old broadcasting software. So let's see, what am I gonna put in here? Get some of that thing. Position. Absolute. Left. 400 pixels. Top of thing. 500 pixels. Stir fry the pixels. A mono space. Font color. Eee. What do I use for a thing? How about we use another div? Thing. And it's gonna have an ID. We should just make this an ID selector. Alright, back to wave 2 here. Back to wave 2 here. If we have movement, mysterious movement, we're gonna have the cursor thing. We're gonna be an HTML div element. Get thing. Definitely. HTML div element. Everybody making the food. Making the delicious food here. Like, I think that's still... I think that thing is still going. I'd be surprised if it wasn't. Alright, do we have the E? I don't think we have the E. I don't think it added my E. What about you? Do you have my E? I don't think Firefox has my E in it either. I did something wrong. Below the canvas? No, it's supposed to be later. It's supposed to be later in the DOM. It should be on top of the canvas. Why CSS gotta be like this? So I either got like the position wrong, or all the pages cached in some evil way. I'm gonna go with the evil cache. I think it's part of evil cache. I don't even have my DOM. It does not contain the E. Wait, it's not gonna contain the E. It's not the cache. It's not the cache. Nope, it's because Mesaka go burr, but not burr enough. I don't host the HTML out of this directory. I have a process, a background process, that copies the HTML into the web directory. So we're not touching the file. Oops. I didn't mean to close that. What's it called? M? Let me type. Let me type. What's it called? Overlay HTML. Loads this one. It uses overlay.js. This one uses also overlay.js. That's a bit of an oversight. That's kind of some silliness right there. When we do this, and you close. Close. So you're gonna watch Wave 2 specifically. I think we're gonna call it Wave 2 on the server from now on. And then we're gonna watch the HTML file. And we're gonna copy the HTML file on my server is called HTML or overlay.html because yeah, I don't that one doesn't matter as much. Is that wait, where is that one is called? Yeah, Wave 2. And then we're gonna delete the what's it called? The overlay.js. Get rid of all that. So that should hopefully take care of the E. If I remember to put the updated correction thing in here. Yeah, probably. And on Firefox, at least, there's no pointer events. There's no mouse move events. I messed up. I think we messed up. We didn't do anything. Let's make this do something now. A thing. Inner text. It still does not cursor. Why you no cursor? All right, you know what we're gonna do? You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna put this on, I guess, a window. Do you have mouse events? Mouse down. Mouse out. Yeah, window. The toppest level of ever. No, that's not working either. What the hell did I do? Is it documents? It's not saying that it's copying anything. Are you copying my file? Are you building my file? If I put error? You definitely put errors. Oops. Somewhat, oops. Yeah, it's like not copying my file. A year and a half? A year and a half? It'd be very difficult if it doesn't, like... If it doesn't update for me. You're supposed to copy my files. And you do not copy the files. 'Let's run this over here so I can keep an eye on it. Copy this to that. But maybe not with all of the line. .1 delay is probably fine. Watch. Watch the thing. Log eek. Like, why is this not? Why are you not doing? Why you no go? Bye, you no go. Okay, we're not gonna watch Source. Sleep? For a quarter of a second, if I could type without mashing Control C all the time. Something bad Vim habits. Something bad Vim habits. I think we also want a near ship. Which, you know, I don't think that works. I get the feeling that something about this just doesn't quite work. Also, let's try like the overlay, which now has an E in it. We can like move the cursor around and the overlay. Cannot see the cursor in the overlay, but like it's definitely there and oh, that's kind of bad. That's sort of problematic. That yeah, we don't have any more power. I don't have any power. Oh dear. I don't know if that's gonna come back or not. It's well, I mean the house definitely doesn't have any. Damn it, I got 13 minutes to close everything. Uh-huh. Yeah, let's go to Meisaka. We're gonna kill that. Close tabs. We're not closing tabs. I'm not gonna close tabs at this hour. The Wi-Fi, we don't have Wi-Fi, we have fiber optic. The fiber interface. My router. All my computers. They sit on the battery. Along with 2 of these monitors, which I now probably have the unenviable task of closing ASAP, unless it comes back in the next, I don't know how many seconds. Let's see, we want to go in here. I'm gonna do save. I heard like a thunder or something. Like for... Let's see, are you? You're a Faye? I don't know why I still have Faye open. Let's go. You can go away. Comfy, not so comfy. ECMA. We'll stop ECMA. All the projects. Yep, Gonna make sure they all close cleanly. Key. 800,000. Nope. Die. Die. Quit all that. We're probably gonna have to end really soon. I don't know. But I also don't have the screen to click the ending button, because that one's not, like, backed up or whatever. System go burr. System not go burr. So I have to, like, reach under the screen. And we're not gonna do tab closing. We're gonna shut down the Firefox instances, though. I have 11 minutes. Session manager. I have never had time to set up a session manager. Because I usually don't restart stuff. I don't have... I don't know. We might have installs or something. I need to find my screen. The monitor. Come here. Where are you at? I need to turn that. I need you in. I know we need to plug it somewhere. Gotta return the other things. We gotta turn all the other things. Turn that back on. Turn this off. And we're going to close this. I'm busy. I'm very busy. I have a time limit. Kinda, sorta. Seriously? Hey, a year and a half. Right, now that I have my other monitor. They're ending. Right now. Immediately. I have 10 minutes of runtime. I don't know why it stopped beeping. Let's see, what's that command? Shutdown. Now? I'm doing this blind, by the way. I didn't power much off other than like some monitors. Definitely some monitors. Okay, that's the other system dead. D-E-D. Dead. That bought me 5 minutes. Oh, that doesn't work here. That doesn't work there. The volume. The volume. Omega. Why do I have this open? Why do I have this open? Can we close? Yeah, save maybe. Okay, what are you? I forget what you are. Yeah, I guess we'll throw this in here and it can be called... What's it called? What's it called? Unfortunately, song does not work because the system has been shut down already. The services are not available at this time. Lose power, keep stream up. I have, you know, a system considerations here. It's not gonna last very long. But, oops. That one doesn't want to work properly. The name of the song. We could probably copy that from the file name. Oops. Are you? Can we copy the file name? Copy? Paste? Behold. A manual redemption of the song commands. Anybody online?
Imagine if I was muted this whole time. Holy, that'd be a pretty cool.
Yeah, we're gonna raid the owl. Cause why not? Little bit at the end is a YouTube link encoded in the file name. Oh, Cal9 Avicii. If my power comes back for some reason, I might resume the stream. Probably. Bye bye for now. As always, take care. I might be back. I might not. Who knows at this point? I guess I could close the client. Oh, I need to shut down this. The other VM, the Yuki. Yeah, I'll do that afterwards. Things depend on that. Things depend on that. No stretch? We cannot do stretch. I am worn out. We're gonna reject stretch. Sorry, not sorry. Bye bye. Where's the other window? I want to catch the reaction, maybe. Possibly.
You're not wrong about that one. Sure.